we're on. So this is one of those videos where I'm gonna be ranting while doing something, because this is the best way to rant. So here's what we're gonna do. This is a big wall, and this is a space where I do everything, and most of what I do currently here is recording those videos, other than conducting my normal business and playing and all of that. And because of the space dimensions and how big the walls are here, I need to start working on the sound quality for you guys, not for me. I'm right, but for you. So for me to do that, I need to install sound panels. Now I'm in Egypt. I can order some sound panels on Amazon and buy them and all of that, but I love doing things the cheap way, as long as I'm the only one who's affected by it. You know, if I'm doing something for someone else, no, we're gonna do a good job, but it's for me and I wanna try. So those guys are some, egg, is it called cartons? Well, us in Egypt we call them cartons of eggs. Here we bought eggs here. This is just plain paper. I think it's called cartoon. Yeah, I forgot. I'm totally blanking on what it's called. But we're gonna be just sticking those here. And I've tried here. I'm gonna show you something. You see, there is something here. I tried to just using some duct tape and sticking them, just as a test yesterday, a couple of them, and they looked alright. But he came here today and found that they fell. So we're gonna try and do a better job. I know that this duct tape is strong actually, but I need to, the way that I'm thinking about it right now is I'm gonna cut some slats in each one, maybe a couple of slats. I don't think it's so light. I'm not gonna need more than 2 per each one. And I'm gonna have the duct tape, not, because here's how I used to do it, all right? I'm not gonna make you guys fall. I'm gonna take this here. This is a piece of duct tape that I rolled over itself. And I had it put on it like that and just sticking it. And that didn't work. So apparently we're gonna need to do a much better job, and that's why it needs to be, the piece of duct tape needs to be not rolled around itself. It needs to have more integrity, and the way that for adhesive, and we're gonna talk a little bit of engineering now. So for the structural integrity of each piece of tape, you need to have it spread, not rolled on itself. And it's better if the force that's pulling on it, not pulling this way, but pulling this way. This way, it's hard to tear apart, or hard to break, or hard to come out, or hard to. I'm struggling to find the word. I need you to know that English is my second language. But if it's this way, it's much easier to get this way. So if it's rolled on itself, what happens? It comes, the force is pulling this way, which is much easier to pull apart anything that is sticking. That's why we're gonna have it differently this time. And you might ask, why just not nail some soundboards or nail? I hate nailing stuff. As you can see, this is some art that I have here, and I have some art here as well. It came this way. All of that art I've nailed. But this art I'm just installing on a shelf, and I'll have some art here as well on that shelf, because I hate how empty it looks up there, behind my toys and stuff like that. But this is maybe something I'm gonna do later today. Right now, we're gonna work on that while I rant a little bit about Jeffrey Epstein, because everyone is doing it. So let's do that. I wish I can show you all my tools and stuff. I can come down there. Yeah. You see all of that? These are tools, and a lot of tools. So I might every once in a while show you something of it. But right now, I think all we need is just a pair of scissors and a duct tape. And I'm talking slowly because I'm uploading a League of Legends video on YouTube. Ranked. I was playing Pantheon against Ioni, and we lost because someone went AFK. But that's something that we'll talk about later in the video. Right now, let's talk about why would someone do what Jeffrey Epstein and apparently all of those celebrities and powerful men done. I'm gonna have some light. Yeah, so I love that ring light I have it here because, well, now I look more dramatic. But let's actually start talking here, and it's gonna be one of those videos where you just leave it on the background if you don't wanna follow through. First of all, I need a system. Which way I'm gonna cut it and which way I'm gonna stick it. Now I'm thinking that I don't need to, I'm not gonna have to do slits. I just can go over the edges. I'm gonna show you something. Let's do a test run. But as we cut in the duct tape, I'm gonna ask, is there a correlation between a level, sorry if the sound of the duct tape is annoying for you to hear. By the way, I love it. This sound there, ooh, that's my childhood there. Is there a correlation between power and wealth and corruption and mental corruption? Because it's kids. Why would someone, and there are some rumors, I don't know, I'm not gonna spread those rumors, but there are some rumors that Stephen Hawking is one of the names on the list. The reason, and by the way, his name, only his name, was the trigger for me to make that video. I've read a couple of his books. Always considered him to be, well, I'm not I'm not an authority to talk about his level of brilliance. I'm just an engineer. I've always loved physics, I've always loved science, and now his name is on a list of some individuals who apparently spent multiple days, weeks, hours with that guy. Now you see, I just put it like that, and we'll just hang it. Stick it, not hang it. Hanging is on a, I'm gonna have the light here. All right. And we're just gonna have to work with all of that space because, before actually doing that, or after, I'm gonna do it and then tell you. I'm gonna have it like that, I think. I can have it, like that. Should it be, this or this? I'm conflicted now. Actually, I think I like it more this way. It gives character, This is just boring. This gives character. But now, for this, no. It will have to be like this. So the tape is at its strongest. And like this. Those are too short. I needed to make them a little bit longer, but. I was too stingy, I have so many rolls of duct tape actually in my, this is my cupboard, guys, it's full of tools. And it's something that I used to do, maybe because it's embedded in my, memories. I used to have maybe one or, because when I was younger, I used to do the same that I'm doing right now, which is play with tools and all of that stuff. But as I was younger. So I didn't have the freedom to buy a lot of things. And one of those things were tools. And so I had to be extremely careful with each and every nail that I use, each and every piece of tape actually. So I'm gonna just increase it like this. It's by the way, that's very strong tape. So I don't need more than that. All right, and like that. Okay. And we'll have one like this down there to keep it from, bobbing off. So, I used to be extremely careful with each and every piece of tape because I didn't have the freedom to just, in the middle of the night, all right, guys, I'm gonna go and buy a couple of rolls of duct tape. But anywho, let's go back to the main topic of this rant, which is What is the correlation between power, wealth? Because Stephen Hawking was powerful. Yeah, he was, well, he had a certain disability, but he was a powerful figure, a very powerful figure. And I truly don't know if he still had sex drive, you know? I don't think it's about sex drive. I don't think it's about desire. I'm gonna explain that. So, the whole thing with Epstein, it's not about sex. It's about power. There is a big difference between, and anyone you know who had those thoughts, all right, this is like that, and this is like that. Now I don't think this is going anywhere. No, now I think it's there until I just tear it apart. There is, for every human desire and instinct, there is an in and there is an out and there is something like an evolution. I need to keep my PC running so the upload doesn't stop. Sex is like hunger. You get hungry because your body tells you, bro, you need to eat. I mean, you're just going about your day, having fun, and then suddenly you feel cold, you feel weak, you feel your energy is draining. That means you need to eat. That's if you're not feeling hungry. All of this feeling you feel after you feel hungry. Your stomach is empty. Now you need fuel, so you eat. Now what? You eat and oh, the food tastes amazing. That's a very delicious pizza. That's a very delicious whatever you're eating. And you remember the taste. Because, and that's God's wisdom, with every instinct you get a reward for feeding that instinct. So when you feel hungry and you eat, you get a reward other than the feeling of satisfaction. You get the taste. That's why humans excelled in, cooking and preparing food. Imagine if we didn't taste our food. If we just consumed it, like astronauts. It's just something that you do to keep getting energy. Many will not eat. Many will just think that all I need to do, no, this way, yep. I need to give it, a room to stick and boil in itself. If you didn't have the taste for the food, even if you needed to eat, you might not. If you don't believe me, look around. People need to do many things need, but there isn't an immediate reward like a test. So they don't. People need to exercise. If you don't exercise, you gain weight, you lose muscle mass, you turn into a potato. But, sorry for the bang, but the reward from exercising comes later, much later. As a result, people just, all right, I'm gonna put it off, until they start enjoying the laziness. And voila, that's it. Now you're a potato. Now, sex is necessary for human survival. It's our way to procreate. Now imagine if you don't have sex, you're not gonna have children, and gradually we are all gonna go extinct. I don't think I need 2 pieces of tape per each one. This is an extremely strong tip, so I'm gonna I'm not gonna need 2 to pull it up, or just one from up and one from down, and that's it. All right, now I need to go up. I'm tall enough to do it from here. No, I'm gonna have to stand on something. All right, so we're gonna do that. Hopefully, I don't, do something stupid with all the acrobatics that I'm gonna do. Will you be able to follow me? Will you be able to follow me? How? I don't know the access of this. Oh, it's coming around. It's coming around. I'm just grabbing a chair from here. Oh, yep. Gimbal ban access reached movement limit. So it's here is its movement limit. All right, okay. Don't worry, we're not gonna exhaust you any longer. I just got that chair, so I can have it here and here. Now it's time to go up. I have a ladder, have many ladders, but this is, I think, is good enough. And I need to put that like that. Yep, that's good. And we're staying here a while. Let's continue. You need to have sex, or human needs to have sex to procreate, and because procreation, or the species survival, is one of the most important things a species has to do. Sex for humans is one of the, if not the most rewarding activity pleasure-wise. Nothing gives you pleasure, supposedly, more than sex, if it's done right. Because, I'm gonna have to make this into 2, because it's not just the physical activity or the orgasm or anything like that. No, it's the connection. We are meant to be together. Not just on mental levels, conversing and having friends, but on emotional level and on physical level. And nothing gives you all of those connections other than sex together. All right, this is starting to turn into something. Okay, all right. You see, guys? By the way, I'm not caring whatsoever about the colors. I don't care about colors. The chaos of colors is alright for me. It's either black or white, or any colors that you want. So I think I'm gonna continue this way, this way and this there. All right, okay. Anything to help. Let's continue. This is gonna be a long video, by the way. The way that our brain deals with reward is that it remembers, wow, that certain activities that you've done gave me a huge hit of dopamine. I want more. Because our brain is designed to be as efficient as possible. If your brain didn't need to spend energy on something, it's not gonna spend that energy on something. As a result, when you give your brain a taste of some reward, it remembers and records that reward and starts reminding you about it every time it gets a chance to. Why? To keep you moving. If it didn't, many will not move. Many will not start their day. Up. You see, I don't want that. And I'm not gonna stand on the table because I'm not crazy. Not here, no, here. I need it here, yeah. And I'm gonna have you here as well. Okay, all right. Let's be careful while doing that. Okay, that was a huge idiotic way of using that piece of tape. And I said that I'm only gonna need one, and I forget a lot, so I'm gonna stabilize it. And as your brain tells you, all right, bro, we got something good out of that last activity that you've done with that girl or that boy, depending on whoever is listening. And you gotta wake up. Come on. Why? Because, well, I want that reward again. This is what moves us. This dopamine. And this is why I have a different perspective on many things in life, because I have ADHD. And those with ADHD have a very different way of dealing with dopamine. All right, okay, here we go. Yo, all right, okay, things are starting to happen. Okay, I'm gonna go the other way now. That's gonna be an extreme shock to the gimbal here, but we'll have to make it happen soon. I have only 3 bundles left. Until I bury more eggs, which I'm gonna do later today. But it's a long project, so we're just having fun with it. People start losing their ability to manage their brain and their need for dopamine and their need for that reward. And gradually, they lose the will, because it's willpower. And let's talk about how willpower exists. 2 ways. Either fear of consequences, or mental, I'm not gonna say power or ability, maybe mental fortitude. You know that you want to eat that piece of cheesecake. It's so good, it'll give you so much pleasure. But if you eat it, you turn into a big potato. And we press record again because the gimbal lost its ability to keep focusing on me. And if there is a way to do that automatically, I don't know it yet. We'll figure it out later. And you didn't know that any of that happened because, well, I'm editing this video after I'm shooting it. Sorry for the noise. I'm gonna bring that wire here. Gotta make sure that the wire is good, and this is a 6 meters wire, by the way. 6 meters long. And this way. And we're gonna bring the duct tape here. And bring our scissors as well. And we're gonna stand easy. All right, okay, yep. Okay, that happened. As I said before, you only need 2 pieces of tape for each panel, which makes us do that. And supposedly, this now can go like this. I'm not gonna fall, inshallah. All right, okay. You're good here, right? You're good here, right? Yeah. Okay, and I might give you just another piece of tape to make you secure up there, because I don't want you to worry. No need to worry. Willpower comes from either knowing there is consequence to your action, and you be afraid of that consequence, and as a result, you live your life not ever knowing how weak you are or how mentally weak you are, because you never had to just be dependent on your willpower to stop you from doing certain things. And if you start being able to, not gonna say deal, but escape those consequences, now what happens? Now you start facing the real question. Are you strong enough to resist your mind obsession with dopamine? And many, and I mean a whole lot, find out that no, they actually have no ability whatsoever to resist that need for dopamine. And the evidence is the consumption of porn on the internet. Because how do you consume porn on the internet? I'm gonna get you nice and cut, please. We can do that. Sorry for the noise. Like that, okay. You consume porn on the internet by being by yourself late at night and having it easy in front of you with no consequence whatsoever for just clicking on a thumbnail or searching for a certain term. And now more than ever, you have the enticement. You see a TikTok or a video on YouTube or something, and what was happening on Twitch, and you start having that part of your brain telling you, bro, that's dopamine right there. Come on, get me more, get me more. And you start by consuming maybe one or two videos just as a test, and you start developing more taste for it, acquired taste, because that's how our brain works. The categories of porn that you've been watching years ago are not the same categories that you're watching now. And the longer that you watch porn, it starts becoming normal for you, and you ask for more weird and more... what's the word? More perverted things, depends on your definition of perversion. Now, that's you, by yourself, and all you can do is just watch something on your phone. What happens if you have so many that you don't know what to do with? And that money is something that everyone else will treat you like a king because of. You start thinking, all right, I can actually get a date with this model that I've been watching. So you do, you get that date. And after a while, the date isn't doing it for you anymore. It's easy. And your brain is asking for that feeling that you are doing something extra, something that is not the norm for you. All right, we're done. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm gonna go down right now. Right, we're here again. I just went down, got this way, recorded again. So let's take a look at what we've done. Bring in the wire, bring in the wire. Let's get the lot light here, and voila. I'm just gonna make sure that this is like that. So, you know, it's nice and tight here. Okay, hopefully it stays. Hopefully, it grips nice on it, and I don't need to enforce more. Hopefully, I've done a good job. Well, all of those pieces of tape are gonna be covered later. I'm extremely talented at covering my mistakes, especially in design. This is something that I used to do with Photoshop and Premiere and stuff like that. Those layers that you cut, you can just adjust and just adjust. Nice. You exist in this earth to do many things, and as a reward for many things that you do on this earth, you get pleasure. That pleasure you feel through having your dopamine go into your brain and a whole lot of chemical process that goes on. And there is a balance between the effort that you put and the pain that you go through and the achievement and the meaning of life in your brain and your belief system, and between the pleasure that you get. There is a balance. Any imbalance in that scale, you end up on a slide. But that slide is extremely hard to get off from. Really hard. But once you take that decision and you try, it becomes easier and easier and easier until you're out of it. And now you remember, oh, it was easy. I was just leaving myself and I was moving. Yeah, but you were moving to the drain. You were moving toward abyss. Yes, you weren't spending any effort. It's easy to be wrong. It's easy to do the wrong thing, especially nowadays. If you need money, for example, one of the easiest ways to get money is through, trading on the attention on the internet. And one of the easiest ways to get attention on the internet is adult and porn and stuff like that. But once you do get that money, and once you start getting pleasure not equal to the meaning and the achievements that you put in life, once you start enjoying just for the sake of enjoying, not enjoying as a reward for something meaningful that you've done, you lose the taste for the simple things, which you should have and you should never lose. And once you lose the ability to enjoy the simple, normal sex, vanilla sex, your brain starts, all right, now I wanna more. And that more gets you there. That more gets you on that list that the guys on Jeffrey Epstein's list are on. There, they are on a, they're not at the end of the slide yet, because it never ends. There is no rock bottom there. You keep doing more and more atrocious stuff until just you lose all shreds of your humanity. So I'm saying that, not just to you, I'm saying it to myself. Every day. I used to be an addict to everything that had sugar in it. I used to be overweight and addict because that's what my brain with ADHD, sugar used to give me dopamine hits, so I used to consume a whole lot of sugar until I wasn't able even to taste honey. Honey for itself for me was bitter. It took me a long time to be able to break out of this addiction. Video games for me was an addiction as well, until I learned how to manage it into being something else. And there are many healthy addictions. Reading for me was an addiction. Yeah, I was addicted to reading. I was a bookworm. It can be a healthy addiction. Sometimes it cannot be. But when I read about that and I see content about the whole Jeffrey Epstein things, I go back and talk to myself. All right, are you doing enough? You know, in a David Goggins way where, are you doing enough? I injured my wrist, I injured my foot actually, because, well, I play a lot of martial arts. But are you doing enough? I can train my mind to be better. I can do better at doing that. I'm too lazy, I hate editing, so I try to build a system for content production the easiest way. And I hate editing, while I used to teach it. So I try to do what I hate, as long as it's achieving something meaningful. Any pleasure in life, especially sex, because it's right now it's a disease with what's happening all over the world. But any pleasure in life is a reward. If you don't feel it's a reward, or you think that you started, going in on that slide, be careful. Please be careful. Things that happen around us all are just signs. If you're not learning of whatever is happening around us, then why do we have eyes, ears, and mind? That was just some ranting. It's something. Hopefully that whole wall is gonna be full of stuff like that, and that can help me manage my the sound, the acoustics in that area here. And see you guys in another rant video. Have an amazing day, night, wherever, whenever you are.